So when it comes to picking my book of the month, how do I follow that up with book of the month? Well, I mean, to me, this is a winner by default. Didn't think it was a bad book. I thought it was a very good first offering of myself with Ronald Malfi. So I do think that I did like the book. I think my only criticism of it really is it was sold to me as a horror book. And guys, this is not a horror book. This is very much a cold case, tracking a serial killer kind of story, very much more of a thriller or mystery crime novel than I call it a horror. I know that anytime you got a serial killer in a story now, they classify it as horror. But to me, I feel like I think I'd like to have a little bit of supernatural in my horror, or just, some kind of creature or monster that's hunting people down. That's the kind of stuff I think I'm into. When you get that sense of dread, I feel like it's done really well. This didn't really have any of that. I was really interested. I was into this mystery the whole time. I wanted to see Aaron succeed. I wanted to see what the whole mystery was. So pretty much what you got for the moment where, it's his deceased wife, he finds like this mystery box kind of thing. And, mystery boxes, some people find them bad. But with me, it was opened relatively early. Mystery boxes are bad when you don't know what's in it. It's opened rather early. But from that moment, I'm pretty much wrapped in the book. I want to know the answers to all this stuff. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. I can see it being one of those where, like, if you go into this expecting Stephen King, you're going to be disappointed. But I think Stephen King fans will enjoy it, as I am one. And I do think that other constant readers will have a good time with this book if you go into it knowing that this is very much kind of a cold case story. It is not. So if you like kind of like current King stuff where he's just obsessed with like Holly Gibney and things like that, I think maybe you might be a little bit more into this, because it does have a lot of the similar kind of paths that it follows. And I think that his writing style is very good. I do feel like maybe the last 10 pages try to force something, but it didn't ruin the book at all. I kept waiting for this big twist in this book, but it never happened. It never happened. It's pretty straightforward, so all my guessing was wrong, but it does really capture grief very well. I think that's something he does really good, and I can see that's why it gets these Stephen King comparisons, because just reading the synopsis, I was like, that sounds a lot like Bag of Bones. It's not like Bag of Bones, except that you're dealing with a widow. That's about it. With this, it's very much more of a mystery. It's about what was his wife up to before she passed away, and it's one of those, like, how far do you go? How much do you want to know about that person that's passed away, about the secrets that they kept from you, and you just find yourself not being able to stop. So I think it has really good themes. Really good pacing. I never felt bored in this book. It wasn't that long. And I really did like his writing style enough to say, I will read more Ronald Malfi, probably this year. I definitely want to read Blackmouth. I own that one. So I'll definitely be reading more Ronald Malfi. And while I say it's my book of the month by default, it's just because, in most months, this probably wouldn't have been my book of the month. But with that field that I had there, yeah, it was not a hard choice for me to pick this one, because this was the only one where I really was like, okay, well, I'm reading it quick. I'm not ever putting it down. I'm thinking about it while I'm not reading it. Now, while after I finish it, maybe I didn't think about it too much. But I think while I was reading it, I was very much entranced in the story and wanted to know the answers. And that's why, guys, it is my book of the month for June of 2024. And I do recommend it if you like those things that I did mention there.